Let's move on to Denmark against Belgium yesterday. What a highly charged atmosphere there was for this one. Hello and welcome to another episode of Gulf News Kicking Back. I'm Imran and I'm joined by my guests Matt, Sham and Sahil. Right, a couple of news stories to start with as usual. We've got Denmark's Christian Eriksen will be fitted with a heart-starting device following his collapse on the pitch. He remains in hospital, but he says he is fine under the circumstances. And teams could be facing fines if their players move drinks provided by sponsors at news conferences. Ronaldo and Paul Pogba have done that in recent days. It's all about money these days, isn't it? I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Anyway, there was 3 games played yesterday. Ukraine bounced back with their opening day defeat against the Netherlands, and they beat debutants North Macedonia 2-1. Unfortunately for Macedonia, that's them out of the competition. Let's move on to Denmark against Belgium yesterday. What a highly charged atmosphere there was for this one, obviously because of the Eriksen incident.
Yeah, straight away it was a fascinating game. We always knew it was going to have that extra edge, shall we say, with those fans back in the stadium, and but Belgium also, the Belgian fans also really coming out in support of Eriksen, and the match did not disappoint at all. There was that moving tribute on 10 minutes for Eriksen as well, and then Denmark gave absolutely everything. The best Denmark performance I've seen, and I've seen a lot in recent years. And it took I wouldn't say a moment of magic from the bench, but it was definitely a game changing substitution when Kevin De Bruyne came on again, showing that he's fully recovered from that injury in the Champions League final.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. De Bruyne made a huge difference, especially that pass I thought was magical. And we have seen De Bruyne do that time and again in the Premier League. So I thought his arrival made a difference. But coming back to their defense, I remember in our preview, Sahil Sarjan had made a reference to their aging defense. And we see that they're a little slow on the defense there. And we could see that yesterday, and Denmark exposed that. What do you say, Sahil, there?
Yeah, absolutely. Vertonghen, Alderweireld, they're good players. They're very good players, but sometimes if players with electric pace come in front of them, they will struggle. The likes of, if suppose if Belgium play France can completely expose them. But about the game, you're right, absolutely. Game-changing substitution to bring Kevin De Bruyne on. What a fantastic pass, and that was a world-class finish. That's not an easy goal to score at all. If you guys saw, that is one of the finest goals we've seen so far. So credit to Denmark for fighting. It's not a one-sided game at all. Denmark gave it all. Braithwaite had few chances, which maybe he could have taken one. But felt sorry for Denmark, but you have to give it to Belgium for fighting it out till the end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Seal. They really came out fighting that first half. In fact, they bossed the first half completely. They scored after, I think it was 99 seconds. The fastest goal of the tournament, and they could have had a lot more the way they started off. Belgium, you're right, the aging defence, a little bit slower back there. They didn't really create too much, but I think all credit goes to just Denmark, the way they came out of the blocks.
Yeah, I think they were playing for Christian. They had 19 shots again. It shows you how important having a clinical finisher is, though. For all that effort and all those chances, they still just got that one goal, and it ended up hurting them, the fact that they couldn't put those chances away. I think all credit has to go to the Hazard brothers as well for Belgium. Torgan getting the first, and Eden Hazard getting the assist for the second. It's good to see brothers playing like that. For some reason, that's something I quite enjoy. Obviously, De Boer's, the Netherlands manager, he was doing that with his brother, and you've seen that a few times. But it's always good to see, and it's always adds a little bit of an extra angle to a game.
What do you think, Sham? Do you agree there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think about these brothers playing. It's always a joy because siblings playing together are great. I think even Denmark used to have that Laudrup brothers, isn't it? If I remember right, isn't that?
Right.
Michael,
yeah.
I forgot the other guy's name.
Brian.
Brian, yes, there's such a joy to watch here. But also, it is good to see Eden Hazard coming, because there was a huge question mark over his fitness. So I think as the tournament progresses, anyway, I think we'll see more of him and De Bruyne in a regular time, really. But I fully subscribe with Sahil saying that they might get caught out as the tournament progresses. The defense will get caught out as the tournament progresses because I mean, if you run into France and somebody like Mbappe, I mean, they could just run circles around them actually.
Yeah.
But I was also equally good to see Lukaku is still in good touch there.
Lukaku's having a second youth. He's been since his disappointing season at Manchester United. He just seems to have come back on with a point to prove since he's gone over to Italy, and I just think he's loving football again. That's why a lot of teams in the Premier League are interested in getting him back. I'm sure Sahil agrees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's enjoying himself, really.
I can completely agree. Lukaku's move to Inter Milan has been a blessing in disguise for him. You know, he's shown what he can do. He's improved everything, literally. His first touch, especially. And now when we see in Belgium this tournament, yesterday he did not score, but you could see that he's got a good pass in him. The strikers usually don't have the best pass in him, but I've seen Lukaku's improvise so much in his passing. Obviously, he's super strong against defenders. And as Mr. Sham said, it's great to see Eden Hazard. He was very good yesterday, very instrumental in the second goal. So Belgium fans will be so happy to see him back. And yeah, there's more to come from Belgium, but there are some downsides for Belgium. We have to say that for sure.
Sahil, you're right. You mentioned Lukaku's improved his game so much. I remember the days when he was at Everton, and he was a really raw kind of a striker. You could see the potential in him for sure. But he's developed his game. His hold-up play now has become so much more better. You know, he gets the ball. He's big. He's strong. He's got that physical presence. He's able to hold the ball up and allow other people into the game. So that's going to be really important for Belgium going forward. But they were nearly caught out yesterday. Braithwaite, I think it was Braithwaite, had a glancing header in injury time, hit the top of the crossbar. I mean, just sum up how good Denmark were yesterday.
Well, to me, I think that they are, like I said, they were playing with their heart on their sleeves for Christian Eriksen. But to sustain that throughout the 90 minutes, that takes more than just passion and emotion. They have got some real skill and talent in that team right the way through. But again, as I said, in this very open tournament, there's so many teams that are right at the top right now. We've reeled off so many, including Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, England, France, Portugal. They're just like on another. You know, we saw like when they came in and won it back in '92. It showed you like sometimes a pretty average team can go all the way, but there's just too many top teams right now, and these average teams are fairly high quality average teams are still just getting found out because they don't have that extra 5% that these teams do have to get over the line.
True, that's true. Okay, Belgium were definitely put to the test yesterday. Let's move on to the Netherlands, who booked their spot into the last 16. They saw off Austria 2-0. Memphis Depay scored a lovely penalty. If Gareth Bale was watching, that's the way you do it, Gareth. And Dumfries sealed it with a second. It went as we thought it would, didn't we?
Yeah, to me, it was just a fairly straightforward game in terms of getting the points on the board. Netherlands obviously had a little bit of a scare in the first game, and they wanted to make sure that they kind of just steadied the ship, and they did that. Dumfries getting another goal. This boy is going to be a little bit of a find of the tournament if he keeps that form up as well. And Sahil's got a shirt on. He must have something to say.
I mean, surely Netherlands, I didn't expect it to be a straightforward game. Let's be honest. After the last game, you thought that it's going to be a tough game. Austria are going to give a fight. But in the end, superb, a very impressive performance from the Dutch. I've got to say, you know, De Ligt came back. He made a huge difference. The midfield is obviously world class. It's one of the highest quality midfielders they have in this tournament. Let's be honest. The Dutch do have quality, but I didn't think it would be a straightforward game. And again, Dumfries is a man in form. 2 goals in 2 games for right back. That's pretty impressive. You've got to say. So the Dutch are there. Obviously, they've qualified for the round of 16. So let's see what they have in their bag.
Sham, impressed by Netherlands yesterday?
Yes, especially I think Sahil hit all the right buttons there because Dumfries was simply brilliant. So was Matthew Delight, actually. It was a delight to watch him today. So that actually gives some...
Putt of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Austria, they shot themselves in the foot again. Again, they've got such a good player in David Alaba. We know he plays really well out wide, but again, they started him in a three at the back, and he was wasted there again, and there wasn't much attacking play from Austria as a result.
Very true.
Yeah, completely agree. Like, David Alaba can play as a CDM, he can play as a left back, center back, and you're right. You should not be wasted. If you realize in that game, he had a wonderful shot, just missed the post. If you realize the game, he can come forward. He's got a good shot in him. Definitely he can be used in a better position. But Austria just didn't play well. And after scoring 2 goals, yes, Austria did have a few chances. After Netherlands scored 2, Austria came back into the game, but it was just too late. So in the end, Austria have themselves to blame. That's it. Netherlands were brilliant.
They were. Okay, let's move on to today's games. England, come on England, against Scotland.
I'll leave Imran. I'll leave you and Matt to fight it out.
Fight this out. It's the first time we've played in 25 years, mate. The last time was Euro 96. And we won that game 2-0, Shearer, Gascoigne. That game is so vivid in my mind. It feels like it was just yesterday. Doesn't it feel? It can't be 25 years, but it is.
I know it's alarming to make me feel. It makes me feel as old as I am. I can still remember the Gary McAllister penalty and everything else that was going on around it. The ball moved. The ball moved.
Unbelievable.
But it did lead to one of the best goals of all time in a competitive competition. And
another part of the
day. Sadly, despite there being a lot more all-round talent in this Scotland squad as opposed to the 1 or 2 that they had back in those days, England are just we're Vauxhall Conference compared to their Premier League right now. It's just I mean, quietly confident because if there's one game Scotland will get themselves up for, it'll be this game. But again, as I said about Denmark, passion can only take you so far. And
question for you, Matt. Straight question.
Yeah.
Will there be an upset today?
I would say that 1-1 draw is not outside the realms of possibility, but I don't think there's going to be any Scotland victories today. A Scotland victory will not be on the discussion board tomorrow, trust me.
Imran, is 1-1 draw and I'm very ambitious there?
You know what, Sham? I can see them being really difficult to beat, and raising their game for this one, especially. We didn't see them too much as an attacking threat against Czech Republic. They lost that one 2-0. I mean, they conceded a wonder goal, so that was unfortunate for them. But today I can see them really trying hard, really giving it their all. But in the end, I still think there's going to be just a bit too much quality. And if we make some changes to the team, if we bring in Jack Grealish, which I think might be starting, we might give Declan Rice a bit of a rest because we've got Phillips in there. He can run that midfield all by himself. So if Grealish does start, he'll change the game. Apparently, Maguire, he says he's ready to play today. So, I mean, there's players coming back for us. I think it'll be a cagey first half, but I think in the second half, there won't be too many goals in this. I can see a 1-0, maybe 2-0. I think we'll win 2-0. But I think more than that, we've got to try to improve our performances. Against Croatia, we didn't really look too good apart from that first 20 minutes where we came out of the blocks and tried to blow them away. This one's going to go all the way, but I don't see too many goals. I can see Scotland hanging in for some time, but I think we'll just about beat you, mate. 1-0.
Hey, you guys can't be neutral. Sahil, I would get your opinion here because these guys can't be neutral. I'm sure they can't see beyond their team. So tell us, what do you think about it?
I'll be honest, I'm supporting England in this tournament, but I'm going to be honest, Scotland are going to give a fight. Come on, look at that midfield. McGinn, McTominay, they're not bad. And the defense is okay, not great. But it's going to be a good game. I think Scotland can give a fight to England if they want to. So, maybe if...
I love the way your argument started really strongly.
Yeah, I mean, if Imran...
Your argument started really strongly there.
Yeah, let's agree on something. We are going to see a very damn good match today, right?
Yeah, a good game. If Jack Grealish starts, it can be a difference for England. And I think Harry Maguire is going to start, let's be honest.
And I think Tierney's back for Scotland, so that'll make...
Huge addition. That's a huge addition for Scotland.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good game.
Harry Maguire will start today?
Sean, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it'll be too much of a risk to put him in. I think we looked okay defensively with Stones at the back there. So I don't think Southgate's going to make too many changes. Maybe Grealish might start, but I won't be surprised if it's the same team that beat Croatia.
Yeah, I agree because Gareth Southgate won't risk it because he would wait to unleash Maguire maybe in the round of 16 maybe.
Yeah. Right, there's two other games. Let's have some quick predictions for Croatia against Czech Republic. I'm going to go with Croatia 2-0. What do you think, Sham?
I would like to agree with you 2-0 for Croatia because I love that side there. Modric is still there and they're doing it all right. But the thing is, they're still an aging side, so you can see if they're creaking along. I don't know, but I would back them to win, say 2-0.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah. I think it'll be 2-1. I mean, the Czechs have got their eye for goal now, and I think that after that halfway lob, they'll be shooting on sight now because they know that if they take another win, that's them in the last 16. So they'll just be going for it, and they know that Croatia are not the team used to be. So this is a great chance for them. So I'd say
Sahil, prediction.
I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Croatia.
2-1 Croatia. And then we've got Sweden and Slovakia. I think Sweden will just about scrape through 1-0. What do you think, Sham?
Yeah, it's the same here.
But
I won't be sitting up to watch the match anyway.
For me, 1-1. I'm going to go with a draw.
1-1.
What do you think?
I think it'll be 1-0. I mean,
Slovakia
are a decent side, but I think Sweden have still got a little bit too much for them, and it'll be 1-0 Sweden.
All right, we shall see.
There you go. I'll even give you that.
We'll see if you're all right. That's enough for us for today. Make sure you head to gulfnews.com for all the latest news, and we'll be back tomorrow for some more footy talk. We'll see you then. Take care.